Merry Christmas. Crystal here. Today I wanted to tell you guys about my CrossFit testimony. It's Christmas, obviously, and I know you might be wondering why I'm doing a video on Christmas when I should be with my family. And I want to assure you that we did have a wonderful Christmas time together. My husband is a police officer, and so he is on shift right now, and we are used to having to work our holidays around his work schedule. We also have a blended family of 5 children, and we got a wonderful chance to spend time with them the last few days doing all things Christmas, and now they are with their second families, sharing some time with them. And so today, him and I are doing what we've been called by God to do, and that is him serving and protecting the community around us. And for me, it's loving on people with fitness. For those of you who know me, you know that that is pretty much my whole goal in life is fitness. So I thought I would take the opportunity today to tell you guys my testimony. So many times I interview people who are here in this gym, coaches or athletes, and I have them share with you their testimonies. And my testimony is not only about CrossFit, but what God has done in my life through this gym and through the journey that I've gone through in kind of starting the gym and what's transpired over the last 7 years. So I thought it would be a great opportunity on Christmas to share my testimony with you. So a little background about me. I have been in the fitness industry since I was 15, and I did everything fitness related. I did all of the group classes, I went on runs, I was interested in weight training. I like to participate in all kinds of activities that made your body move. And so I was not in sports, but I liked to be active and I liked to be fit. I used to ride horses, I rode my bike a lot, I took piano lessons. I was a pretty normal girl, normal teen. In my teens, I got very interested in Volkswagens. I actually started a Volkswagen club locally here and ran that club for several years into my 20s. And during that whole time, I was always working out. That was just my thing to do. That was kind of my habit, my hobby, I guess you would call it. It made me feel good. I had some friends that went with me, and so it just became part of my life. As I got older into my 20s and started having children, I continued to work out, doing things like group fitness classes. Those were my favorite. At the time in the late 90s and early 2000s in this area, it was just like aerobics classes and some step classes, and you had the weight room. I used to participate in some local runs and just try to keep moving as best as I could. I used to go on bike rides with my family, go on hikes, you name it, we did it, and that was something I really enjoyed. In my early 20s, I got married and I had 2 children, 4 years apart, and great things there. I worked out throughout both of my pregnancies. However, during that time, I found that something was going on with me physically. I wasn't feeling well. I ended up with extra 20 pounds. This is back in about 2006, 2007, after my second baby. And being as I was in the fitness industry for so long and working out, it was very confusing to me why I was having these struggles. What I found out was that I had some food allergies, some sensitivities, and so I changed a lot of what I was eating. At that time, I started doing a cleanse program from Isogenics. I still do those programs now. Last week, I just did another cleanse day. That experience taught me that I was able to reset my body and restore my health by giving myself those cleansing or fasting days, and then of course changing some of the food that I was eating, some of the food that I was allergic to. I worked with a naturopath to find those things out, and during that time was when I started CrossFit. One of the gyms that I worked at started doing CrossFit just in the corner, kind of a small little area, and we were all kind of like, ooh, what's going on over there? They're doing these things. They have rings out, they have barbells out, and so I started hanging out in that corner, in between classes. At the time I was teaching group classes, and just started trying out some of the things. I had never really worked with a barbell. I saw them climbing ropes, and I thought, wow, that's pretty cool, So here I was just playing around with CrossFit. I was feeling better because I was doing those isogenics cleanses. I was changing my eating, changing some of the food I was consuming. I had 2 small children. My youngest was 1 at the time. My oldest was 4 at the time, 4 or 5. And so very busy, busy mom. I worked in bookkeeping at the time. I was working at an accounting office doing bookkeeping and also teaching classes as well as being a mom. So that was kind of my life at probably about 10 years ago, and loved it. Like I mentioned before, my heart is really in fitness, and I truly believe that God has called me to take that love of fitness and love people with it. And I know people can tell when I give them burpees in a workout that I really do love them. And it is true, I do. I love, watching people get fit, and I love seeing them love burpees. But anyway, so that was my first kind of introduction to CrossFit. The gym that I was working at, several of the instructors went to the owner's house, and we actually did a real CrossFit workout at their house. And what happened that day was nothing short of magical, because me, being in the fitness industry for 15 years at that point, thought, oh yeah, no problem, I'll just knock out this workout and we'll all just go home, no big deal. Well, what happened was we were all just toasted, and to be honest, the workout that we did then is our warm-up for CrossFit now. And it was amazing, the muscles that it challenged on my body. I felt muscles I never even knew I had before, which was amazing because I did all that other stuff. I've been in the fitness industry. So long story short, we were like, okay, we have to do this. So the gym that I was at, we became a CrossFit affiliate. I actually pursued my CrossFit Level 1 certification at that time. I was already certified in group fitness, certified in personal training, certified in kickboxing and boot camp classes and spin classes. I taught all of those things. So now I just added on that CrossFit thing. And so what happened for the next few years was I taught CrossFit classes, as well as still teaching my boot camp and spinning classes and things like that. And my body started changing, with the help of the isogenics cleanse, to help kind of clean everything internally, and the help of the CrossFit workouts, which are everything from cardio to weight training to gymnastics. My body started to turn into something I had never seen before. I dropped 20 pounds. My body composition changed. I got muscles I never even knew that I had. And, at that time I was between the ages of 30 and 32. So, kind of later in life, I guess, that I started. I had already had 2 children. At that time, I was doing so well that I decided, hey, I'll do a bodybuilding competition. So I did my first figure competition in 2009, and that was an amazing experience. To get up on stage and be in the little tiny bikini, and be successful and feel good about it. And after that, my life took a little bit of a turn. I ended up going through a divorce. There we are. Ended up going through a divorce and reconnected with someone in my past after that was complete, and actually had another child. So my 3rd child was born when I was 35 years old, and that was a real difficult time for me, that struggle from going through a divorce and then having another baby and another relationship. And the constant through all of that was CrossFit and my fitness and the people around me, the people in my community. During that time, I worked at 3 different gyms. doing different things. I did personal training at one gym. I did CrossFit training at another gym. And actually, I did personal training at 2 of the gyms. So very busy, running around, and being super pregnant during that time was very challenging. But like I said, I had always had my fitness to keep me going, to give me something to focus on, or something to not focus on what was going on in my life. And that got me through those tough years. After my 3rd child was born, I took some time away from all of my jobs. I actually quit all 3 places and took some time to just kind of reevaluate what I wanted to do. And at that time, because of going through a struggle of a divorce and having a baby, so not being able to work for a short time, I was unemployed. I had no money. I had no house. I had a car. I pretty much lost everything at that time in my life. And so I had a new baby and 2 other small boys. I have 3 boys, and nothing to speak of in my life. I didn't have a long-term job. I had lost my house, divorce, had gone through the divorce. So it was real, what do you say, a turning point in my life. And I felt God kind of prodding me on to take my nothingness and my passion and turn it into something. And I say that because I ended up starting a gym. And I feel like sometimes when people go to start a business or start something new, you worry about what you might lose. You have your pros and cons, like, okay, if I go for it, yeah, it might be great. If I don't, I might lose this. Well, God put me in a position, or used my position that I was in, which was having nothing. I was on unemployment. I was on food stamps because I didn't make enough money, and I had 3 children, and I was on WIC, for those of you who know that. So I was pretty low on the income scale to start a business. I did have some money that I got after my divorce when my husband and I split, and I used all of that money to start a business. And I felt that God was telling me to take that jump. And that was 7 years ago. So I started our gym. We started up on South Hill in a really small facility. We were actually inside of another gym, kind of like the gym that I started with CrossFit. We were kind of in the corner. We had 800 square feet. Like I mentioned, I took that money, that small amount of money, that little nest egg, I guess you could call it, and I put it towards opening this business. At the time, we were operating as CrossFit Puyallup. That's our CrossFit affiliate name, still is. Our parent name of our company is Truth Fitness, and so we opened up under the name CrossFit Puyallup, and we started in September of 2011 in a small facility, and got our first member within the first day that we were there, kind of accepting memberships, and started this whole journey. At the time, I don't have anything close by, but our logo just had the word CrossFit and Puyallup under it. And it was shortly after opening, within a few months, that I felt pressure on my heart to add a cross into our logo. And at the time, I was real nervous. We were inside of another gym that, as far as I know, wasn't real Christian based, and so I was real worried about what having that cross might do to our business. And I prayed about it a lot, and we did it. We put the cross in our logo. Just a few short months after we opened, we put our banner up, we put our sign up, and nothing bad happened. In fact, we continued to get more and more members. Each month, we would run a beginner's course, getting people to know how to do CrossFit and do it safely. And each month, we were getting, 8, 10, 12 people. It ended up to where, now our numbers are anywhere from 10 to 20 people each month in our beginners course. And I think we have like the best marketer in the world, and that's Jesus. And I think he brings people to us. Of course we advertise our gym, but I have to believe that, our faithfulness in showing our beliefs has been rewarded throughout the years. We were there for a year, and we grew out of that space. It got so that we felt like we were sardines in that little facility, just kind of stacking people in, hopefully keeping them safe with their barbells. And so we ended up having to break our lease there and move to a bigger facility, which is the one that we're in right now. We've been here in this location for 6 years. And I have to say again, by the grace of God, we found this facility that already had a build out. It had everything we needed. It had garage doors, it had high ceilings, it had office space, it had bathrooms, and we didn't have to build out anything, which was really great because, I had mentioned that I didn't have anything when we started the gym. Well, for that first year, we took no income for our household. We put everything back into the gym, and so that was a tough year. I remember our first Christmas, I didn't have any money to get gifts for my children, and several of the members got together and bought gifts for our family, and that meant a lot. Having 3 boys, 3 young kids, and going through the challenges of opening a business and not having anything for them was pretty incredible. So that's what makes this video pretty special. That next Christmas, we were in our new facility, and within 1 month, our membership doubled. We went from about 75 people to over 140 people in just a month of being in our new facility. And we were able to start taking in income from all of our work at the gym. And ever since then, it has grown successfully and been a blessing. When we first moved here, it was myself and my significant other at the time. Unfortunately, our relationship did not withstand those troubles, and so after that, it was just me and the gym. And I was fortunate enough to have 2 other people who helped me coach, who had been athletes at our old facility. They had been with me for over a year. I felt very confident in them and trusted them, and they were able to come on and help me coach classes, which was a blessing because for any of you that know the life of an affiliate owner or a coach, you can almost kill yourself by teaching so many classes. So when we moved here, we were able to add on early morning classes. We have classes that start at 5 a.m. now, and so like I had mentioned, I had a couple other coaches to help me out, and so that was the first time having someone else that wasn't my family to work with me in the gym, and then I became an employer, and I had employees to take care of and to pay and to make sure that they got their paychecks, so that was a new thing. Those coaches left after about a year. They moved on, moved out of state, and as God would have it, he showed up with another person to help teach classes. That person came into our lives, and like within a week of the other folks leaving, and was followed by another person. And so we kind of just had a little flip-flop of coaches. Some great ones came in with experience, and a couple had left and moved on. And I mention that because, now it's been 6 years that we've been here, and it keeps happening. We all have seasons in our life. I know that my coaches, come to me and something might happen in their life where they need to change things up or change their schedule. And right now, I have about 20 people on staff now who help in some form or fashion. We have 10 coaches, we have interns, we have people who help clean the gym, of course, we have a social media person. It's just incredible to see what God has put together. These people have been sent to me. And it's incredible to say, that I haven't had to go out, and I haven't had to advertise these things or for people. God sends me who I've needed. Recently, we had a couple of our coaches move on for their reasons. It's their season to move on. And then we have a couple more coaches who just came in and filled those gaps. And everything is just continuing to grow, and the energy is great. And I know, like I've mentioned a couple times already, that is God's provision on this mission. And, I mentioned it also in the very beginning. My calling for life is to love people through fitness. And, lots of people have different gifts, and I believe that is my gift. I love to be here. I love to teach. I love to coach. I love to teach coaches. That's kind of my new goal for the new year, is to really pour into my coaches so that they can pour into more people to reach, more people to love on. And it's amazing what God has put together, this team. And I can't forget to mention my amazing husband of 4 years. We've been together for 5 years now. After I went through a rough time of another breakup and managing the gym on my own, God sent me this man, Jeremiah, and he has become a part of this gym, thankfully. Another dream come true of mine. And so he coaches here with me. He has his own job, obviously. That's where he's at right now. A very busy job, a very stressful job. And I manage the gym, and he does his job, what he's been called to do. But he is here, and he's part of this journey and part of this calling. And going forward for the future, I see us growing even more and being able to reach more people, as a couple and as a family. Like I mentioned, we have 5 children. I have 3 boys. He has a boy and a girl. They range in ages from 8 to 16. So we have a very busy household, and we try to make our lives be an example to others and help people to work on their fitness, work on their health. At our gym, we offer a food program also to help people learn about food. Not only amazing workouts, right? We offer CrossFit as our main way to help people get fit. Our goal is to help real people get fit. We also offer a couple other things like boot camp. We offer yoga, and we have an amazing kids class program for CrossFit. And I just am so blown away by where we are 7 years into this, from starting where I had nothing. I was on food stamps, unemployment, and WIC, 3 small children, unmarried. It's been quite a journey, and I just wanted to share my journey, my testimony with you, not only with CrossFit, but with also owning a gym, and what God has done in my life because of my faith. I don't require that anyone have my faith to come to my gym, because it's about my journey and doing what I've been called to do, and that's love people. So if you're a person, you are welcome at our gym. And my goal is to love you with fitness, so be ready to do burpees. So anyway, thanks for listening to my story, guys. Please check out our Truth Fitness YouTube channel for other testimonial videos that I've done with our athletes. Maybe someone's story will appeal to you, and if there's something in you that wants to come try this out, maybe change your life with some fitness or some food program or anything in between, I can tell you this is an amazing community, and it has affected me as well, and I would love to have you here. So have a Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.